when we look at the life of Mephibosheth, barren place. When you mean barren, places that don't even flourish, places that don't even, yield anything. Mephibosheth was left in that place, a forgotten place. But when the king remembered him, what happened? There was restoration. He was brought back to the palace. So also it is for our lives today. It might look like, okay, maybe people have even forgotten you. I don't know what it may be, or maybe people have forgotten us. There are some people that, maybe you are dependent on somebody for school fees, for life. Not that you are dependent, because of your capacity as at now. Maybe you are a student. You are a student, because for a student in this part of the world, if it's in a developed nation, as you are schooling, not even for college or for elementary school, maybe for college or whatever, as you are schooling, you are working. But this part of the world, you hardly see that. It's either you are facing school squarely or you are doing business. So there are some people that might look like those that should help you. They've forgotten about you. But God is always there to do what? To restore. Like the King David did to Mephibosheth. When Mephibosheth was brought, he was restored back to his original place, which is the palace. Because a child of the palace is always a child of the palace. For instance, some of us that are prince and princesses here, whenever you go back to your home, maybe your village or where your father is ruling as a king, when you come back, you will be welcomed as a prince or a princess. So Mephibosheth was restored back to his original position. So also when grace comes, grace, which is the unmerited favor, when it comes, it will always, restore us back to our original position. Then the table of grace is a place of continual fellowship. It's a place of continual fellowship. When you are on the table of grace, I remember a time that they wanted to do some, promotional interview in the office. People were invited to the boardrooms. People were invited to the boardroom. The boardroom is a place where decisions are taken. If after all the interviews and everything, if the panelists just decide that girl or that lady is the one we will pick, do you think anything can stop it? Nothing can stop it, because a decision has been taken on the table. A decision has been taken on that table. So the place of the table of grace is for continual fellowship. Fellowship for continual fellowship. And that is what happened in the life of Mephibosheth and the king. When he was brought back to the palace, the king said he should continue to eat on my table. Somebody that was lame. And in those days, people that were lame or had leprosy, they are seen as outcasts. They are not people that should sit with, people. Talk more of a king. So it's like a taboo. But when Mephibosheth was restored, the king said he should eat on my table. That is a table of grace. What can be higher than that? Nothing. It is the highest honor. Because you dining with the king on the table. Let's imagine maybe like Sanwo-Olu just pick somebody now and says, from tomorrow, you come to the State House and you'll be eating on my dining table. It's like, it's a big honor. So a table to tell Sanwo-Olu, sir, Mr. Governor, this and that, because you will have a close interactive session with him. Or have you seen somebody that is eating on the table, like Star Amaka, Star Feyi, and others? As you are sitting on that table now, you can be able to interact. You can be able to talk. Even if you know, the table of grace is a place of fellowship. Is a place of fellowship. Then the table of grace will change your identity. The table of grace will change your identity. The table of grace that has been prepared by God, by Christ, by the covenant of his blood, will change your identity. When Jesus was eating with the sinners, the tax collectors, Jesus was eating with them. Do you know what the Pharisees said? They said, it's like an abomination. How can somebody of that level be eating with sinners? Somebody that we see as holy God, a God that does not have spot or wrinkle, a God that does not have sin. You are now dining with the sinners. It's like an abomination. But what did Christ say? He said, I did not come for those that are righteous. I have come for the sinners. I have come to invite the sinners to the table, because it is a table that unmerited favor is being dished out. It is a table where unmerited favor is being dished out. You don't merit it. They are sinners. But that is the table of grace. And that is what Christ is always preparing for each and every one of us. We don't merit it. Have you ever seen a situation where the MD of a company will just call on somebody and say, call that person for me? In fact, before getting to the office of the MD or the chairman, you will start wondering, what does he want to ask me? What? So it is a place of honor. So Christ told them, I did not come for the righteous. I did not come for the perfect ones. I did not come for those that feel we are there, but I've come for those that are broken. We have come for the sinners. We have come for those that are down, so that we'll be able to bring them up, because it is a table of unmerited favor. Then the next one, when we look at the life of Mephibosheth, like I said, he was a broken person. He was an outcast. He was a rejected person. He was somebody that has been labeled as, this one cannot do well. Let's just let him just be at the back of maybe the city. But what happened? The king called, bring him to the palace. Bring him, let him dine with me. So also Christ is always calling on each and every one of us daily. Each and every one of us daily. It is not your righteousness. It is not because you are good. It is not because you are nice. It is not because you know how to do it. But the table has been prepared. It is there. What is the meaning of prepared? It means it's ready. So when you say something is prepared, it is ready. Like when the committee were putting this place together this morning, they were preparing this place. And by the time it got prepared, what happened? We were able to sit. So the table is a prepared one for us already. Our own is just to yield to the call. Our own is just to yield to the call. Like when the king said, go and get him, bring him to the palace. It was not left for Mephibosheth to say, I'm not going, no, because I'm a lame person. Or I'm not going because I'm not worthy of the table. No. It is now our decision to, take that step to honor God. Then the table is for, okay, I think I've done that. So the king is still asking today. Who is that king? Jesus is still asking today. Is there anyone that still needs mercy? Is there anyone that still needs grace? The table is already prepared. Christ has died for us. He is not going to die again the second time. The second time he's appearing is for him to rapture his people. So the table is already prepared. Our own is just to tap into the prepared table. Are you a broken one? Are you one that, it feels like life does not even have meaning? Or are you the one that feels, okay, what do I even want to do next? What do I even want to do next? The table can, is a place where things can be revealed. I'm sure when Mephibosheth was sitting with the king and the rulers of Israel, things were revealed to him. That, your father Saul, who was the king, he did this, he did that. Your father Jonathan, he became my friend. This is the covenant I had with him. Because it was because of Jonathan. That was why he invited Mephibosheth. When we read, he said, for the sake of Jonathan. We all know what Saul did to David. Ordinarily, Saul was like an enemy of David. He was like an enemy of David. But the son, Jonathan, was a close friend to David. And David said, because of Jonathan, because of the covenant I had with Jonathan, because of that relationship I had with Jonathan, bring Mephibosheth to come to the palace. bring Mephibosheth to come to the palace. So, as it is today, Christ is still calling on us to bring all our cares to him, to bring all our pains to the table, to the prepared table, to bring all our weaknesses. In every area we are weak, Christ is still calling on us to bring them to the table, because the table of grace is a prepared table. It is a prepared table. All he's doing is calling on us, bring your cares, bring your pains, bring your weaknesses, bring your needs to the table. And it is the table where the unqualified are qualified. It is a table where the unqualified are qualified. Ordinarily, you are not qualified. Just like we saw in the life of Mephibosheth. He's not qualified to sit in the midst of ordinary people. Talk more of a king. But he sat with the king to dine day and night. Not just him, even with the other family members. So the table of grace is a table where the unqualified are qualified. So whatever it is, you might be looking at it that, oh, I'm not even qualified to do this. I'm not qualified to do that.